Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. And I guess this won't be YouTube if I didn't ask you to please like and subscribe and join our ever-growing Sassy Squad family. And please comment below, I want to hear directly from you people. So today we're going to be talking about this character assassination of Meghan Markle. The article reads, as the article speculates that a newly announced autobiography of Prince Harry will really have been written by his wife, Richard Sanders sheds light on a 21st century tale of racism, class, and misogyny. I've had the peculiar experience over the past few years of making two films on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, when Harry met Meghan for Channel 4 in 2017 and Harry and William, What Went Wrong, broadcast on ITV this month. Two snapshots 4 years apart of a story that unfolded with a hideous inevitability. For the first, I took the trouble to get to know Meghan. It wasn't difficult. She'd written various articles, including a particularly interesting piece for Elle in 2016 on her experiences as a mixed-race actress in Hollywood. She'd given a number of interviews and written a blog. It seemed to me basic research, but to my surprise, a number of the royal correspondents I then interviewed clearly hadn't done the same. This is crucial actually. I want to talk about this point, people. These royal correspondents have never ever met Meghan Markle. Most of the majority of them, Harry kept them away from Meghan Markle because he knew them. He knew who those vultures were, who those carnival of so-called experts were. And they were right, and he was right about them. They smeared Meghan Markle, insulted her, racially abused her, and called themselves experts on Meghan Markle and went on each and every single TV station to talk about Meghan Markle when they have never even met Meghan Markle. Dan Wootton, for instance, who recently had an interview with Thomas Markle, he has never met Meghan Markle, Dan Wootton. Dan has never met Meghan Markle. But he acts like he knows Meghan Markle. He brings a toxic person, a toxic father, to talk about his daughter on national TV, to insult her, to spread negativity against her, to bully her. The same people that Thomas Markle talks to have spent their time racially abusing Meghan Markle, driving her to contemplate suicide. So please, I want to ask you guys, which father would ever talk to people who abuse his daughter? Thomas Markle is just like Vanessa Bryant's mother, or more like Jamie Spears, Britney Spears' father. Those are the type of people that he is, and we should not endorse the abusive behavior, the abusive characters of these kinds of people that are being uploaded by GB News and the likes of Dan Wootton, because they help them in abusing Meghan Markle. The toxic tabloid culture of abuse of women and misogyny must not be endorsed. It must be called out and cast out of our society. And guys, it wasn't hard to get a grip on the Duchess of Sussex. She was smart, racially conscious, a feminist, and not an unusual product of the northern suburbs of Los Angeles, where she grew up at Northwestern University, close to Chicago, where she studied theater and international relations. She struck me as interesting and likable, but my overwhelming feeling was, what on earth is this woman doing marrying into the British royal family? The answer was that she and Harry appeared to be genuinely, deeply in love, but this was a person who would never accommodate herself to having the Daily Mail appoint itself the arbiter over every life choice, and so it proved. Even so, it's not like the Daily Mail will ever say anything nice about Meghan Markle. You've seen the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mail going on national TV to say that they like comparing women against another, like the Duchess of Cambridge towards the Duchess of Sussex, and then they smear Meghan Markle to uplift Kate Middleton, the woman who lied that Meghan Markle made her cry, a biracial woman, and in which, because of that lie, Meghan Markle was abused by racists on social media, day in, day out, for 5 years, till now, till she corrected that lie in the Oprah interview. And I must say, I didn't bother to read the press on her in the years that followed. There were mere important things happening in the world, but I was vaguely aware of the story proceeding to script, from the initial attempt to stir up a catfight with Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, through the sustained and vitriolic character assassination of the past couple of years. You see, people have seen that. The character assassination of Meghan Markle has continued, and people have taken notice about what has happened to her. I then returned to it a few months ago. Inevitably, I found myself chatting to friends and acquaintances. The experience was bizarre. Perfectly liberal, enlightened, intelligent people who suddenly passed through a portal to the 1950s. Meghan was conniving, manipulative, and narcissistic. No antediluvian misogynist trope was crude enough. It was pointed out that both Harry and Meghan came from troubled, broken homes, damning people who had gravitated towards each other. In fact, Meghan is remarkably grounded and well-balanced, and while her father has let her down, her mother is clearly an absolute rock. Where was this assumption coming from? None of it bore any relation to the woman I'd put under the microscope 4 years earlier. The one thing that I like about Meghan, I must say, people, is that she had a past, and her past was remarkable. She provided for herself, a self-made millionaire worth $5 million even before marriage. Probably the only self-made millionaire to ever join the royal family is Meghan Markle, people. The only one. And she's the one that has been smeared, bullied, abused, called names that I don't even want to mention. And it's been tough for me talking about it. It dawned on me the difference was that whereas I knew her by listening to and reading her own words, the people I was talking to had experienced her entirely through the prism of the British media. It was a perfect illustration of Harry and Meghan's core grievance as articulated to Oprah Winfrey, as they were the victims of a racist, misogynist, xenophobic press against which Buckingham Palace had failed to push back. You've seen images of Prince Andrew currently going back to Mommy Dearest, the Queen, to protect her, to protect him from his pedophile crimes, alongside Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, against Virginia, whom I'm hoping will get justice for what was done to her. She was passed on to Prince Andrew to have sex with him. So repulsing. A bigoted press. There was one development I had not anticipated. The rift between Harry and his brother. It became clear that a major falling out between Harry, Meghan, and a number of the staff at Kensington Palace preceded the worst of the press. We've seen the name calling that Kensington Palace staff has called Meghan Markle. Meghan. They called her. They said that the marriage between her and Prince Harry will last 3 years. And you know where they got it from? That bigoted staff that Kensington Palace have that can't even publish a diversity report. That racist staff that Kensington Palace have. And I suspect Meghan has some steel core in her. She was a 36-year-old woman when she married Prince Harry and was not amenable to being shaped by the palace as it had previous younger royal partners. Harry too is probably fairly imperious. Both he and Prince William are renowned for their short tempers. They were brought up as princes after all. It would be unfair to caricature palace staff as brigadiers living in the 19th century. But there is certainly a cultural gap between them and the world Meghan comes from. But the key simple fact to remember is that Harry loathes and detests the total tabloid media. He said that time and time again. However, British tabloids have tried to turn and say that it is Meghan Markle. No! British tabloids killed his mother. And when Harry fell in love, they proceeded to bully, insult, racially abuse both his wife and his children. Even before Archie was born, he was being racially abused. But British tabloids will make people believe, oh, Meghan is at fault. It's not Meghan that's at fault. It's the abusers, the constant abusers. British tabloids have a history of abuse of women, and that abuse must be called out. That abuse must be called out. As Emma Jones of the campaigning group Hacked Off put it in our film, Harry believed the press had murdered his mother, and they were going to do exactly the same thing to his wife. That's exactly what they did to his mother. In his interview with Oprah, Harry recounted a conversation with a well-connected media figure who he said told him, "You need to understand the UK is very bigoted." Harry stopped him and said, "The UK is not bigoted. The UK press is bigoted, specifically the tabloids. But unfortunately, if the source of information is inherently corrupt or racist or biased, then that filters out to the rest of the society." We've seen that. We've seen that in real time happening. We've seen the abuse of Granit Xhaka, Sancho, Marcus Rashford. We've seen that abuse happen at the Euro finals. We've seen what happened to them. And Twitter actually said the majority of that abuse came from the UK. And who do you think teaches with these people racism? The British tabloids do that. So his loathing of the press for intrusion into his own life has broadened under the influence of his wife to a wider revulsion at tabloid culture, yet he knows what he calls an invisible contract exists between the palace and the press, which both need each other. It's very easy to see how vulnerable a lower-ranking couple such as Harry and Meghan might feel in the royal household in the face of the inevitable horse trading that goes on over what stories run and which stories don't, and how tensions might arise if they felt that they were being used to cover up or distract from other, perhaps juicier scoops. Add to that Meghan's shock, according to her own account, at her first encounter with the gentle, veiled, and maybe unconscious racism of the English upper class, and it is easy to see how relations could have deteriorated so quickly. How their relations could have deteriorated so quickly. We both know how racist the British tabloids have been to Meghan Markle. We've seen that perfectly well. They've been so racist towards her. I don't buy this that they don't know it's racism. They know it's racism. They know perfectly what they do is racism. Otherwise, they wouldn't write an article that harms another person's emotions or feelings. They do that with the intention of causing harm to Meghan Markle. My own ITV film provided a vivid example that Kensington Palace is certainly more prepared to wade into influence media coverage when it chooses to. On the day of transmission, the palace demanded that we remove one particular quote. People more important than myself acquiesced, although it seemed to me perfectly legally defendable. Hardly never complained, never explained, right? You see, they could have stopped the abuse that Meghan Markle faced. The palace could have stopped that abuse, but they refused to stop that abuse. They actually let it continue. They let it fester. And guys, I think I'm gonna stop right there. I'll stop right there, so because I want you to continue thinking. I want you to tell me what you think. I want to hear directly from you. What do you think about this? What do you think about Thomas Markle's abuse against Meghan Markle? What do you think about British tabloids, the abusers, the main abusers in the UK? What they're doing, endorsing another abuser, Thomas Markle, to abuse his daughter, Meghan Markle. You've seen the dignified silence of Meghan's mother, protecting his daughter. Why would you speak to the people bullying your daughter and driving her to contemplate suicide? Thomas Markle is not a good man, people, and I want you to understand that. And please, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to watch our next video. It's going to be an incredible, incredible piece. We'll finish this in our next video. Love you guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.